I grew up in a neighborhood off West Boulevard, a neighborhood full of single mothers. Not only did I see that struggle, but I was a product of that struggle. So even as a young man, I had goals of one day being in position to be able to make a change. Also, my mother is a minister. She spoke on change and fought for change basically my entire life. The moment that pushed me to where I am today is that in my city, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, there was a lot of murders going on. And some guys from my neighborhood put together a Stop the Violence event. What I saw in that event was 500 to 700 people coming together. So I had to remove myself from the event and look inside the event. And what I saw was love, respect, fellowship amongst the community. So right then, I went to those guys and said, you know what? We have to do more in the community. Because if we can put this together and come together in a unified moment, then we need to do this and resonate it throughout our city. And maybe that can change some of the things that's happening. From that, Team Trublue was birthed. And from then on until this day, we've been making changes, going into the community, uplifting the community, serving the community with the needs and the issues that they have. I would say I've experienced racism on different levels, but at the point where it was weight on my shoulders was when I found myself, and my youth indiscretions found me in a fight for my life and my freedom. I was on trial against the federal government. I remember that in school I learned that I would get a fair trial, or that I would be tried amongst my peers. And I can remember during the jury process, I saw people that looked like me, and I felt comfortable picking my jury pool. But as I began to pick my jury pool, every person that I felt comfortable with, the prosecution stricken them from my jury. And by the time the process was over, when I looked at my jury, I didn't see my peers. So at that moment, the light bulb went off. I realized I may be in over my head. So once I was incarcerated and began to study my case, be more knowledgeable about policies, I found the deeper I went that it was racism inside the policies and laws. In my situation, it was almost to the point it was a white law and a black law. The disparity of sentencing that I was sentenced to was a ratio of 100 to 1. What gives me hope for the future is when I can go into the neighborhoods that I'm from, and when you have 20 and 30 kids running out to greet you, to be receptive to what you're sowing into their lives, in hopes that one day they'll sow the same seeds. I may not be here to see that flower grow, but I believe in that. What gives me hope for the future is ground roots organizations coming together, going into communities, trying to unify and move in one sound. What gives me hope for the future is the turmoil that our country's in today, when you see different races holding hands, locking arms, fighting for the same purpose. I am hope.